Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 4060 Ti 8GB GPU in Red Dead Redemption 2. This one is the Founders Edition model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers as usual, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of, well, not all of its specs here in Tech Power Up's GPU Z because it still says unknown, and this is the latest version of it, okay? It doesn't know this device yet. We're pairing it with the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D and 32GB of RAM, 3600MHz CL14 in dual channel, and let's get right into it now, shall we? So we're playing at 1080p resolution using the favour quality preset right here, or the maximum settings preset for the 4060 Ti. It's different for every card, by the way. Not everything is turned up to the maximum, and I still adjusted a few settings like the particle lighting quality to high, it was set to medium, water physics to 1 out of 5, it was set to 4 out of 5, and the motion blur, I turned that off, okay? Oh, and the fur quality down here, it was also set to medium by default. I set it to high because, you know, I want my fur to look great. By my fur, I mean like Roach's hair and Arthur's hair and stuff like that. I should probably wear a hat in this game. We're playing a cowboy game, you know. But anyway, let's go and play the damn game now, shall we? Okay, Roach is here as usual, looking beautiful. Textures could be a heck of a lot better. I think there's a mod for better textures, right? Right now in Red Dead Redemption 2. But as you increase the resolution, the textures will look better as well, so keep that in mind. At 1440p, it should be a good middle ground for a card like this. Not so much with 8GB of VRAM in other games, you know, that's why you shouldn't really buy a card like this for 1440p gaming in general, but I think it will do a really decent job in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, at 1080p, it's barely using like 5GB of VRAM, it's fluctuating a little bit, sometimes it goes lower than that. So that's pretty good, and it's eating up 130-ish watts of power. That's the most impressive thing about the 4060 Ti. Actually, I would say it's the only impressive thing about the 4060 Ti. Its power consumption is really, really low. It would be awesome as like a 4050 Ti, or maybe as the default 4060. I think it's all right. It should still have had more VRAM, you know. The fact that it has less VRAM than 3060 12GB is kind of dumb, but well, it's 2023, games are coming broken, GPUs are coming broken, everything is broken, and I like to test older games. That's why we're testing Red Dead Redemption 2, which is not broken. Around here it's dropping into the lower 90s, sometimes into the 80s, as you can see, since we're seeing a little bit more vegetation right here in the town of Strawberry, which we will make our way to. It won't really differ too much in performance compared to what we're seeing right here. That town is really intensive because of the water. It has a big river with a lot of running water in the middle of it, and whenever you have the water physics set to maximum or close to maximum, it wrecks your FPS. Since I adjusted those, because, you know, they look good, but it still looks great like this, and it's way less intensive. It's not going to be intensive in Strawberry, and I'll show you in just a little bit, okay? But, oh boy, you damn bastard! I knew this was going to happen! Roach! Roach! Get over here, boy, I need you! Why am I in first person now? What did I do? Okay, I pressed V. Alright. Oh my goodness, Roach! Okay, so we don't really need DLSS in this game, but I know some people who really like the look of it. In Red Dead Redemption 2, it makes things a little bit sharper, so I'm gonna apply that. Right, DLSS is set to quality now. Let's do this. It doesn't really improve your FPS by too much in Red Dead Redemption 2, so it's more about the looks than about the performance you gain. As you can see, we gained about like 10 frames per second, which is 10 to 15% more performance than what we were seeing before. It's still dropping into the 90s, right? Like, it's not impressive. I don't like that the Roach's hair, like on the tail, you know, as well as Arthur's hair, are so dotty. Like, you can see a lot of little black dots especially when you move the camera. It's really weird. I hate that. It's been here since the beginning of times of Red Dead Redemption 2. Actually, it didn't have DLSS back then, but since they added DLSS, it's been here. All right. Oh my gosh, we should definitely join this fight. Let's go. Shotgun is what I have. All right, let's do this. Let's get up close and personal with them, boys. Oh, yes. What do you want? What? Why are you shooting? Whoa, that was really fast. Why did they all turn onto me? I just arrived at the scene. Well, it's part of the game, you know. You gotta die sometimes and see Red Dead. They're not here anymore. I think they were right here fighting each other. But everything is all right now. Look at the lighting coming from the trees right there. It looks really good, this game, overall. Really like it, guys. Okay, and it's buttery smooth at 1080p, as it should for a $400 GPU. Up to 2560 by 1440, ultra settings still, everything the same aside from the DLSS, I disabled that. So obviously Nvidia targeted the $400 GPU at 1080p gaming, but that doesn't mean that it can't do 1440p, especially in older titles like Red Dead Redemption 2 that still look amazing. It will do a great job at 1440. It's just like a 3060 Ti or a 3070. You know, those were very good 1440p GPUs. I recommended the 3060 Ti a lot back in 2020 for 1440p gaming, especially with DLSS. It's a really nice combo, but it's 2023. That's the issue with the 4060 Ti. It performs around the same as a 3070, or a 3060 Ti. In some cases, at higher resolutions, it actually matches a 3060 Ti, which is just, what? It's terrible. It's the same price as the 3060 Ti came out, and it matches it? What do you mean? Yes, it consumes a little bit less power, quite a bit, actually. Instead of 200 watts, it's consuming 140 right now. But still, it's just a badly named and badly priced product, in my opinion. If this released for like $300, it would have been a great product, even though it's called 4060 Ti and it performs around the same as the 3070, which is 15% faster than the 3060 Ti. Yeah, I mean, for $300, that's a hefty discount. Or maybe if it had like 12 gigabytes of VRAM instead of 8 for the same price. Like, okay, I could see that being a little bit of a decent upgrade. Not great still, but way better than this. That would still be great for like 1440p with DLSS in the latest titles like The Last of Us Part 1. And as it stands with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, it's alright for like high settings, but it struggles on ultra setting. Jesus Christ! Alright, that's enough talking about the 4060 Ti's shortcomings, okay? It is doing a great job here. Roach was just tired of us talking about that. But as you can see, it's not really dropping from 60 FPS. It might, actually, since the 1% lows are near the low 60s. What do you want? Are you Bob?
Yeah, you just keep moving,
You just keep... What? You don't tell me what to do, boy.
Just calm down.
Calm down, boy. Come on. Oh, fuck that! Yep, you! What did you think was gonna happen, you idiot? Alright. It's definitely Bob right here. You know, he likes to do this kind of things with animals. Gosh, the bastard. Obviously, he's not dead, guys. He's gonna show up in just a little bit. Ooh, wait a second. Wait, I'm gonna grab his hat. What an ugly hat Bob had, dude. Oh, man. Anyway, over here, it's usually really intensive if you have the water physics set to high. You can probably guess why, right? A lot of water. With these settings that we're utilizing, I think it will drop the most near these really, really dense forest areas. So let's go there. Well, it's pretty much the same thing. It didn't drop from 60 yet. And I think it won't, because in Saint Denis, it's not as GPU intensive. It's actually more CPU intensive there than these areas. That's why we usually see a little bit less FPS by the swampy area near Saint Denis. Now, what if you prefer the look of quality DLSS? Let's turn that on and maybe get like 5 more FPS, or a little bit less than that, because, yeah. Oh, boy. Okay, Roach, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, maybe we're getting like 10 more FPS, same as at 1080p, interestingly. Again, it is looking a bit sharper, but I think at 1440p I would disable DLSS. At 1080p it actually looked pretty decent, guys, not gonna lie, aside from the little dots, of course. But look at that, now hitting 90 frames per second. This is closer to what we were getting at 1080p, I guess. So with DLSS, it won't really have a problem achieving 60 plus all of the time, even in the most intensive areas, I think, in this game. You could even increase the graphic settings a little bit more, although I think it doesn't really make that much of a difference. We're already at ultra settings, basically. Dropping down into the 80s here with the water. Still no problems. It's still pretty much similar to what we've seen so far. So let's stop it there. We shall now go up to 4K resolution. That's 3840 by 2160. Still using the same ultra settings. Disable DLSS and let's go. And at native 4K, we're getting 40-ish frames per second. Okay, that's actually playable, right? I mean, I would have loved to see 60-ish. That would be a great improvement over something like a 3060 Ti. But again, it is not bad, and it is actually still very playable. In Strawberry, might I add. Okay, a lot of people think this is the most intensive part in the entire game. Come on! Alright, there we go, Roach. All good, all good. Yup. Are you okay, buddy? Alright. Let's follow the river, I guess. Yeah, it's having a little bit of frame time spikes here and there. You know, very, very tiny ones, not really that noticeable, but it's not as stable as it was at 1440p. There's another one right there. So there's that. At higher resolutions, again, this gets closer to the 3060 Ti than the 3070, and that's probably because of that 128-bit memory buzz. It sucks for a GPU at $400. What matters is it's actually pretty stable, well above 40 frames per second at all times, 38% lows. It's never really gonna drop from 30. You don't need to worry about that. And it's fairly smooth. Again, it has some issues, but overall, I think it is a very playable experience for a single-player title like this one. So if you want to pair a 4060 Ti to a TV, you know, in the future when maybe this GPU isn't as expensive, well, it is going to be possible for you to play at this huge resolution in some titles, older ones like Red Dead Redemption 2. There we go. Oh, whoop, boy. Oh, that is a very nice cutscene, actually. Okay. There we go. Come over here, you bastard. I'm gonna kill all of you. I really want to free you guys, but I can't. Oh, hi there. What the hell are you doing here? Guys, why do you keep on coming after me? You're all gonna die. Well, sometimes they actually do kill me. As happened once already in this video. Zigzag my way over here and die, of course. Alright, next up, let's try it with quality DLSS a little bit. There we go. And with these settings, at 4K, it looks very good. The little dots in the hair are still present. Like, those aren't going away, even at 4K resolution, and we're much closer to 60 FPS, but still not quite there, right? It's most often into the 50s than it is into the 60s, so I think we should try it with, like, balanced DLSS instead. So we were getting 55 FPS, 56 with quality DLSS. Now we gained about, like, 5 FPS maybe at times. Yeah, that's closer to 60. Okay, it feels a little bit smoother for sure. Yeah, alright. If you're playing at 4K, just use balanced DLSS, I think. It also looks really close to what quality DLSS looked like. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time here using 4K and DLSSs and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time killing people, but that's because we are crisps And we like to do stupid things sometimes. Not necessarily because you should play at 4K, because this is not a 4K card whatsoever, right? Like, it's barely a 1440p card in newer titles. So you better stick to 1080p or 1440p. But again, I just wanted to show you that it can actually still provide a decent experience at 4K in some games. Just like the 3060 Ti could. Right. Now let's just wreck everything and play at 8K. Okay. Oh, we can't really play at 8K, I think, because of the VRAM. Alright, maybe with ultra performance we can. Let's try that out. Okay, so it ran out of memory. That is to be expected, obviously. It just crashes at 8K, unfortunately, guys. Alright, so the only way 8K actually works on an 8GB GPU, apparently, is to set it to 8K lowest settings and quality DLSS. Because if I turn it off, it goes over the VRAM limits, even on the lowest settings. So yeah, this is what we're using, quality DLSS, and let's see how it goes. Oh, the textures are looking terrible. What the hell? Like, the jacket still has some texture to it. You can see it right there, right? It's very detailed in terms of threading, but then if you look at it from far away, that looks awful. Oh man, now there is no quality there. There is no bit of quality. Okay. Okay, still, this is an insane resolution, obviously, even with quality DLSS enabled, because 8K is actually 4 times 4K resolution in terms of pixel count. It's 2 times the vertical res, but it is 4 times the actual resolution in terms of pixels. Like, 4K is 8 million pixels, roughly, 8.3 million, and 8K is 32 million pixels. That's insane. Yeah, this is around like 25 to 30 FPS most of the time. It's still playable. It's like cinematic, you know. I have had worse experiences with like GT 710s and stuff like that at like 300p in this game. So it's great to be seeing 8K actually running, but it is not viable whatsoever. This is just for fun at this point. All right, I'm just gonna set it to performance DLSS. Lastly, this usually looks pretty good compared to native 4K, for example. It looks better using performance DLSS at 8K. Even if it runs a low resolution, I'm not sure, but I think it runs 1440p, but upscaling to 8K, it just looks amazing, guys. And now with performance DLSS, it is getting above 30 FPS on low settings. So pretty much everything looks terrible aside from the sharpness of the game. So that's been it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Tomorrow it's going to be a big one. So stay tuned in. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.